I liked her and then I didn't like her. She looked fine until I dressed her. And then I realized the problem wasn't the clothes, the problem is the doll. So I redesigned her. Same idea, but with a completely different result. This is part of a bigger safari adventure world that I'm building. But before I can design the world, the characters have to work. And this version doesn't. Let me show you what I mean. There were a few problems that showed up when I added clothing. The first one is that everything was happening at the top. The hair in the head was just so big that it drowned out anything that was going on at the bottom. The next problem was that the balance is out. The doll isn't only physically unstable, it looks off. And even if it stands, this thing has got no stable structure to it. And the third issue is once you put clothing on this doll, it changes the shape completely. There's not enough structure on the doll for the clothes to sit properly on it. So as soon as you put clothing on it, the shape collapses. This isn't the first time I've seen this problem. I crochet these dolls in a particular order. I start with the body, then the head, and then I add the hair on. The clothing almost is an afterthought. With these first few dolls, I would crochet the clothing straight into the body, and I would focus mainly on the hair. So for this mermaid, the weight of this hair is so heavy that it pulls the head back. These dolls with the flat wigs balance really well. And that makes sense to me because there's hardly any hair on these heads. It's when I started adding removable clothing that I really noticed the very big difference that adding clothing has to the shape of the doll. Every piece in this dollhouse has taught me something about structure. So I asked myself one question: what needs to change so that the clothes don't break the shape? And it comes down to only a handful of options here. Either I can reduce the surface area of the head, which is what I've done. All these dolls have a cone shaped head. I could reduce the hair weight, which is what I've done with some of these dolls. Or the third thing is I can control where the volume sits on this doll. So if the hair is top heavy, should the bottom have as much volume as well? If that makes sense. I've tested smaller wigs versus bigger wigs. I've tested thinner yarn and thicker yarns. I've tried different placements of the hair. So I've tried having a wig where the hair sits at the top of the head. I've tried moving the hair to the back of the head to see what differences all of that makes. And above all, I paid attention to what happened when I started adding clothing. Because for me, the clothing is the afterthought. I technically designed all of these dolls around the hair. Funny enough. And I didn't realize that until I made this video. I learned something new today. Which brings us to our latest story. These two dolls are the newest versions of the same pattern. Same idea, but now the clothes sit on the shape instead of fighting with it. Even though there's not a lot going on, the clothing balances the hair. I don't often crochet big pieces like jerseys or blankets, and I wonder if I wouldn't have gotten to this conclusion a lot sooner. But I realized that clothing doesn't fix the shape of the doll. If there's something wrong with your doll, your clothing is going to expose the issues that you have. If your base shape isn't strong, your clothes will actually just make it worse. So here are a few things that I've changed to balance out this look. The first thing is I changed the shape of the head. You can't tell because there's hair on top of these heads. The top of these heads are a cone shape, which means that there's less surface area. When the wig sits on the head, it kind of slants at the back and it changes where the weight of this hair sits. That in turn changes where the weight of the hair lies. and it makes the hair lighter. So I changed the shape of the head. I made the hair lighter by shifting the weight of the wig, and I balance whatever is going on at the top with clothing at the bottom. I think of these dolls like a starfish. The body of the doll is that central part of the starfish, and with the starfish, you've got all those arms coming out of the sides. With a doll, it's the same. If the body is not perfectly balanced, and if there's not enough space on the doll to hold all the pieces around it, it's not going to be structurally balanced, but it's also not going to be visually balanced. It's like I always have to remind myself that yes, the doll has a body and hair, but once you add clothing on, that can also just make or break the doll. You want the clothing to be able to sit on the doll and not fall off. So, this past week's experiment was crocheting the same outfit for these two mini-Zs, but from a different point of view. The first way, I crocheted the outfit straight onto the doll, so you can't take this outfit off. With the second one, I did the same thing, but you can take the clothes on and off because I wanted to see what the difference is. Would the clothes hang differently if you are able to take them off and put them on? Because it's easy to sew something on a doll and make it look nice if it's not going anywhere. You can fool a look like that. But once you're taking clothes on and off, that changes not just the shape of the doll, but it changes also how the clothes hang on the doll. I will admit, the one problem I always run into when making clothing that you can take on and off is figuring out how to attach the pieces together. As I said earlier in the video, I designed these dolls so that they can be played with. And a lot of times, kids like to play dress up. I'm not a fan of Velcro because, in my experience, the Velcro just stops sticking after a while. I found these little press studs. Press studs seem to work the best. I can never find small enough buttons to close these things, so I find that press studs work just fine. For the next few weeks, I'm going to be making accessories, some bags and hats, shoes, water bottles, and those things are also going to add weight and change the shape of the doll. As part of the safari adventure story, I'm going to be crocheting animals as well: a lion, elephant, all the big five and little five, some birds and whatnot. I'm going to have the same issues that I have with the doll as with these animals because I want these animals to stand up straight. The problem I'm going to have is they're all going to be top heavy. I'm going to have to take these same principles of this doll and figure out how to distribute the weight and how to balance these animals so that they don't fall over. So, very similar construction issues. And surprisingly enough, I think they are going to have similar solutions. Sort of. The longer you crochet toys, the more you come to realize that you are crocheting different solutions to the same problem. Anything with legs has a balance and a weight issue. If you want the full breakdown, that's the pattern, the structure, and how I think through this, that's over on Patreon. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.